Well, thank you for that introduction, Dr. Dolly. Excited to present today about Black Swan Real Estate. As you mentioned, my name is Dr. Elaine Stogberg, and my husband, Nick, and I own our company together. And we like to say we like to do everything at scale. So that's what we'll share about today. So Nick and I have been married for 14 years. We actually started investing as a result of our marriage. We both owned our own homes and decided to move into his home and then keep my home as a rental. So that's how the story all began. And we've been married and investing now for 14 years. At the time, we had one child when I finished medical school, and now we have 5 children. Like, as I said, we like to do everything at scale. I'm a psychiatrist by training. I trained at the Mayo Clinic. I live here in Rochester. This is where the majority of our portfolio is. And then Nick had a long career in tech entrepreneurship, had several tech startups. And then along the way, we decided to pivot into real estate. And I'll talk about why we made that decision and why I think real estate investing is such a great asset class. So one of the things that really started my journey well before I even knew, what investing was or what real estate investing was, is the formative experiences that I had growing up in a family where we really struggled with financial scarcity, a lot of financial pain, debt, sort of never knowing, where the next dollar would come from. And Nick had a very similar childhood. And so when we met and decided to get married and decided to start a family, we knew for certain that we wanted something very different. We knew that we didn't want to have such pain associated to the financial part of our lives. And then we also knew that we were going into, professions that had huge time demands, and yet we knew we wanted this big family. And so how did we kind of balance all of this? We knew we wanted time freedom. We knew we wanted a life of abundance. And so we started investing in real estate with just one single family home. As I mentioned, our very first property was the home that I lived in before we got married. And then a little later in our time here together, I'll show you our first purposeful investment that we never lived in. We bought exclusively for investing purposes. And really along that way, we found and we committed to our why. We knew that we wanted to experience financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, and then most importantly, what I consider to be the most important types of freedom, decision-making freedom and lifestyle freedom. And so we decided to invest in real estate. We decided to continue investing in real estate, to funnel those dollars back in, to funnel as many dollars from our careers into real estate and to build this portfolio. And then along the way, it took on, such a bigger vision than what we originally had envisioned or intended there, to now we work with over 450 passive investors. And we think about our mission is to make the world a better place to live in the most tangible sense of the word. We love that we get to create communities for our residents to live in, that we do deep value add projects. We're the largest housing provider in southeastern Minnesota. And in doing so, we get to create investment opportunities. Most of our investors are physicians, about 80% are physicians, and that we get to marry those two things together and create abundance in so many different ways.
The hosts of The White Coat Investor are not licensed accountants, attorneys, or financial advisors. This podcast is for your entertainment and information only. It should not be considered professional or personalized financial advice. You should consult the appropriate professional for specific advice relating to your situation.